Is about using cookies. Cookie is a small piece of information that is persisted between the multiple client requests. I can also define that the cookie which is going to keep the information about browser, or I can say that history information about the browser. That is what we call cookies. The cookie can has name, values and attributes such as comment, path, domain, maximum age and version number. These are the different values which can be assigned to the cookies, or these are the information which can be seen on the browser. The different methods supported in the cookies are the set domain method takes the one argument as a pattern. The set domain method sets the domain to which the cookie should be applied. I need to specify the domain. For example, I will specify the domain name as www.cec.com. Okay. Then when I specify that domain, okay, cookies is going to apply to particular domain by making use of set domains. And get domains. The get domain is a method which is going to get the domain to which cookies has been applied, and the return value in the form of string. Here I have assigned then URL pattern as www.cec as a cookie. Now once the cookie has been applied to particular domain, if I perform any operation on that domain, I can retrieve those domain to which cookies has been applied. In order to retrieve that, we will make use of a get domain method. Set max age int takes the one argument int expire in second. This method is used to set how much time should the cookie should be get expire. The set max age is going to assign the specific time limit to the cookie page, so that cookie is not going to be get expire until and unless the time should be get over, and time can be specified in the form of millisecond. If it does not set, then cookie will last only for the current session. Get max age. The get max age is the method which is going to return the maximum age of the cookie specified in the second. By default, -1 indicates the cookie will persist until the browser shut down. Means if we assign the time as in 60 seconds by making use of a set max age, then the get max age is going to return if the cookie is not if the cookie is not expired within the particular amount of the time, then the return value is going to be indicated as -1 of get max age. Get name. Get name is a method which is going to return the name of the cookie. The name cannot be changed after the creation. Okay, at the time of creating the cookie, we are going to assign the name to the cookie. In order to retrieve the name of the cookie, we will make use of a get name method. Set value. The set value is a method which is going to set the value associated with the cookie. As their name, we are going to assign to the cookie. Similarly, we can also assign a value to the cookie by making use of set value, and takes the one argument fired as a name value of the cookie. Get value. The get value is a method which is going to retrieve the value associated with the cookie. Assume that I assigned the value to the cookie as CEC. Now I want to retrieve that value. In order to retrieve that value, I will make use of a method called get values. Set path. This method sets the path to which cookies apply. If you do not specify the path, the cookie returns for the URL in the same directory as a current page, as well as all the subdirectories. Suppose I want to apply the cookies to the particular path. I want to store all the cookies information to the particular path. In that case, I will make use of a set path, and I will specify the some path, like I want to keep all the information about cookies in a D drive and a folder called as in Java. In that case, I will going to specify the path where the cookies are going to be get stored in that particular path. Now I want to retrieve the path in which path the cookies information has been stored. For that, we will make use of a get path method. The get path method gets the path to which the cookies have been applied, where exactly the cookies has been applied. In order to retrieve that path, we will make use of a method called get path. Next method is secure, set secure, and boolean flag. This method is used to set the boolean value indicating whether the cookie should only be sent over encrypted connection. If I specified set secure as in true, then if I specified the secure as in true, then I will say my cookie was been secured and it has been encrypted and the values have been sent over an encrypted connections. In order to check out whether the cookie has been secure or not, we will make use of a method called getSecure. The getSecure is a method which is going to retrieve the information about the cookie is secure or not. If cookie is secure, the method is going to return a true, otherwise the method is going to return a false. If and only if I am making use of an HTTP protocol. If I am using an HTTP protocol, then the method is going to return a true, otherwise the method is going to return a false. These are the different methods which are available in the cookie class. Okay, in this slide we are discussing about how to create a cookie and how to read the cookie information. First we will see creating the cookie. The first step is for creating the cookie is cookies are created by using cookie class constructor. So here we can create a cookie by making use of a cookie class constructor. Then second step is the content of cookies are being added to the browser by making use of an add cookies method. These are the two steps which have been used to create the cookie. This is an example to create a cookie. Assume that first step says we need to create a constructor of cookie class. So I have created a cookie. Now C is an object of a cookie class and I have created the constructor which takes the two arguments. The first argument is the name of the cookie. This is the name of the cookie. Second argument is value assigned to the cookie. Now I want to add this name and value to the browser. Okay, when I want to add this name and the browser to the browser, then I will make use of a method called add cookies. The add cookies is a method which is going to add the cookie information to the browser. So this method is belonging to the interface called as a response interface. With the help of an instance of response interface, I am invoking the add cookies method. The add cookies method takes the one argument, that the object of the cookie. Here what information I want to add it. Here the object is C. The object C is holding the name as well as a value. This name and the values are going to be added to the cookie. Similarly, I can also apply different methods which are available in the cookie class. Now this is simple program. Now once the cookie has been created out, now I want to read the information about the cookie. To read the information about the cookie from the browser, we'll go for reading the cookie information. The first step is reading the cookie information from the browser can be done by making use of a getCookies method. The getCookies is a method which is used to read the information from the browser. The second step is find the length of the cookie class. We don't know what is the length of the cookie class. In order to find the length, first we need to find the length of the cookie class. Then third step is retrieve the information using the different methods belonging to the cookie class. We already seen the different methods which are available in the cookie class in previous slide. By using those methods, I am going to retrieve the information from the browser. This is in steps for reading the cookie information. Let us see a simple example for reading the cookie information. The first step says that I need to read the cookie information. That can be done by making use of a getCookies method. Here the getCookies is a method which is going to read information from the browser. If any method is reading the information from the browser, then that method is belonging to an interface called as a request interface. With the help of an instance of request interface, I am calling the method called getCookies, and the return value of getCookies will be assigned to the array of a cookie object, because there are multiple values are going to be stored in the browser. So that's why the return value will be always in the form of an array of cookie or class object. This is first step. Now second step, I need to find the length of the cookie. To find the length of the cookie, I have made use of a control statement called as a for loop, and C is an object of a cookie, and the length is a method which is going to find out the length of the cookie. Now I want to retrieve the information. Assume that at the index 0, the name and the values are being stored. Name and values are being stored. At the index 1, the another person name and the values are being stored, so far. Now I want to retrieve the name of the cookie from the browser. For that, we'll make use of a method called getName. So getName is a method which is going to retrieve the name of the cookie. which has been assigned. Here in this example the name assigned to the cookie is employee ID. I want to retrieve this name. So with that can be done by making use of an get name. So this is a method belonging to the class called as a cookie class. So instead of through the instance of cookie class, I am invoking the method get name. Then the return value will be assigned in the form of a string called name. Here I got a name as employee ID. Employee ID. Similarly, I want to retrieve the value which has been assigned to the cookie. So that we will make use of a method called get value. The get value is a method which is going to retrieve the value assigned to the cookie. And through the instance of a cookie class, I am calling the get value method. The return value will be assigned to the variable called value. Now I am printing the result by making use of a println method belonging to the class called as a printWriter class, where out is an object of printWriter class. I am printing the name of the cookie and value of the cookie. This is a simple program for creating and reading the cookie. Okay, this is a simple program again which was started in V2 exam. Okay, to create and read a cookies from the given cookie name as employee ID and its value as AN23356. Okay, in previous study we already discussed about how to create a cookie and read the cookie information. So this thing should be written within a scriptlet tag. Okay, this is my scriptlet tag. Using a scriptlet tag, I am going to performing the operation as creating the cookie and reading the cookie information. The first step is I need to create a cookie class constructor. So to create a cookie class constructor, so cookie followed by C is equal to new cookie. The constructor takes the two arguments, one is the name and another is a value. The name of the cookie is given as employee ID. Okay, that name has been written out and its value is given as AN25 and its value has been assigned. This is the name and the value which has been assigned to the cookie called object C. Now I want to store this information to the browser. To store this information to the browser, I will make use of a method called add cookie. Add cookie is a method which is going to add information to the browser. If any method is adding the information to the browser, then that method is belonging to the interface called as a response interface. With the help of a default response interface object called as a response. Okay, this response is a default object in JSP. Using the default object response, I am calling the add cookie method. And the add cookie method takes the one argument, that is object of cookie, to be added information to the browser. Now this object is holding the value as name and its value of the cookie. These are the two steps to create the cookie. Now I want to read the cookie information from the browser. To read the cookie information from the browser, this is a part of the code. The first step, I want to retrieve the information from the browser. Okay, in order to retrieve the information from the browser, we'll make use of a method called get cookies. The get cookies is a method which is going to retrieve information from the browser. If any method is retrieving the information from the browser, then that method is belonging to an interface called as a request interface. With the help of a default request interface object called request, I am invoking the get cookies method. The get cookies method is going to return the multiple values. So it should be created in the array of cookie class object. This is retrieving the information from the browser. Now I want to print the result on the browser. For that, the second step is we need to find the length of the cookie. To find the length of the cookie, we will make use of a for loop, and C is an object of a cookie class and length is a method which is going to find the length of the cookie. Now I want to retrieve the name from the browser. Okay, cookie name from the browser. In order to retrieve the cookie name from the browser, we will make use of a method called get name. So get name is a method which is going to retrieve the name from the cookie name from the browser. So get name is a method belonging to the class called as a cookie class. So with the help of a cookie class object, I am invoking the get name method. So the return value of the get name method is assigned to the string. The name is contained the employee ID. Now this is a value which has been contained, employee ID. Now I want to retrieve the value of the cookie. To retrieve the value of the cookie, we will make use of a method called get value. So get value is a method which is going to retrieve the value of the cookie, that is AN2356, and the get value is a method belonging to the class called as a cookie class. To the instance of a cookie class, I am calling the method called get value and the return value in the form of a string. Now I want to print the result on the browser, that is cookie name and cookie value on the browser. For that we have made use of a method called println method. It is belonging to the class called printWriter class. Here for the printWriter class the default object is out. With the help of a default object out, I am going to call the println method. So this is a label and the name which is available in the cookie class is employee ID. So I will get a result as employee ID. Similarly, the value to the cookie I want to print. For that I will make use of another println statement. Here the value of the cookie is AN2356. This is a simple program to read and create a cookie information from the browser. So next topic is session tracking. The session tracking is the capability of server to maintain the current state of single client request. Okay, the session tracking can also be used to check out whether the user has been in state active mode or inactive mode. The session simply means a particular interval of the time. Okay, for each web page there will be some time limit has been given out. Session tracking is a way to maintain state of the user. Okay, here we are going to check out the user active state or inactive state. If the user is not performing any operation, simply just open the browser, then automatically the session is going to be get expired. If user has made interaction towards the browser, then the session is going to be updated each and every time. HTTP protocols used by the web server is stateless. Each time user request to server treats the request as a new request. Okay, as soon as the client has made any request to the server is going to consider it as a new request has been made to the server. So each client has going to be get an unique session ID. Depending upon the session ID, the server is going to identify the user is in active state or not active state. We need to maintain the state of user to recognize to the particular user. Okay, here it says that in order to maintain the status active state or stateless of the user, we have to create a session ID. With the help of a session ID, we are going to identify whether the user has been active or not. For that, we will make use of a session tracking. This type of stateless transaction is not a problem unless we need to know the sequence of action a client has performed well at our site. Means the main reason is using the session tracking is used to keep a track about the client, what operation he is going to be performed on the browser and whether he is an active or inactive towards the browser. That is the use of session tracking. Here we are discussing about different methods which are available in HTTP session interface. The first one is the get attribute method. So a get attribute method takes a one argument type string. This method is going to return value associated with the name passed as an argument. So assume that I have passed as an argument to the get attribute is object name is called say some college name. Okay, this is an object name is called college name. I want to see what the value has been assigned to the object called college name. Okay, and I will make use of a method called set attribute. There is another method called set attribute and takes the two arguments. The first argument is a string, that is an object, and second argument is a value, what value we are going to assign to the particular variable. So I will specify the object name is college name here as an object name, college name. Okay, so I'll say just call, and the name I given as value I given as CEC. Now this CEC is been assigned to the variable called as a call. Okay, now I want to see the value assigned to the set attribute. For that we will make use of a get attribute method. With the help of a get attribute method, I am going to retrieve what the value has been assigned. So for that we will make use of an object called call here. When I pass an call as an argument to the get attribute method, so this method is going to return a value as CEC, because this CEC value has been assigned to the set attribute method. This is use of get and set attribute method. Get attribute method returns the value associated with the name passed as an argument, whereas set attribute method associates the value passed in the object name as argument. Then another method is called as a get creation time. The get creation time is a method which is going to return the time when the session was created. This method is also going to return date, time when the session has been created. So get ID. The get ID is a method which is going to return the session ID. As and when the user has been made requested to their server, the session ID has been generated. Now I want to see what the session ID has been generated to the client request. For that we will make use of a method called get ID. Get last access time. The get last access time method returns the time when the client last made request for this session. Okay, when suppose I have logged it, I made the request at the time of 10 o'clock, and I made one more request at the time of 10 o'clock 2 minutes. Okay, 10 o'clock 2 minutes. After 2 minutes I made a request. That is say that last access time which has been made by making use of a get last access time. Similarly, I can also assign a time limit to the page. These are the different methods which are available in HTTP session interface. This is a simple program for session to display the session information on the browser. So this is within the scripted tag we are going to performing an operation on session information. So in order to get the session information, we will make use of a method called get session. So get session is a method which is going to create the session, or it is going to get the session information from the browser, and this is a method belonging to the interface called as a request. So we need to make use of a default object of request class is request, not REQ. QUEST. Okay, the default object for the request is complete request. Okay, this is the default object in JSP. With the help of a request object, I am going to call the get session method, and the return value will be assigned to the HTTP session interface. So here H is an object of HTTP session interface. Now I am assigning the name to the page or a browser. For that we will make use of a set attribute. The set attribute is a method which is going to assign then value to the attribute. So here username is an attribute, and to this attribute I am assigning the value as an Santosh. Then set attribute is a method belonging to an interface called as an HTTP session interface. With the object of an HTTP session interface, I am assigning the value. Now I want to print a session ID. Okay, to print a session ID, I will make use of a method called get ID. So get ID is a method which is going to return the session ID which has been created to the each user request, and to display we are made use of a println method, and the default object is out, what we already discussed. Now next method is here what we are doing, here we are going to doing creating the session time. What is the creation time of the session has been created? For that we will make use of a method called get creation time. At what time the session was been created out. The get session method is going to return date and time of the session created. Similarly, this method is belonging to the HTTP session interface, and will pass this as an argument to the constructor called as a date, because this method is going to return the result as date and time. Now similarly, I want to access the get last access made by the client. Okay, get last accessed by the time. The method name is called get last access time. It is not a get access time, it is a get last access time. So here I am printing the last access time by making use of a get last access time method. This is a method which is going to return the last date and time the user has made request to the page. Last one, I want to display the attribute name which has been assigned by the set attribute. The get attribute is a method which is going to return the value assigned to the attribute. The attribute name is called as an user name. Where we have the username attribute has been used, the attribute is used in a set attribute method. The value assigned to the set attribute is this one, Santosh. So here I am getting the output as the value which is assigned to the attribute is Santosh. I am getting the output as Santosh. These are the different methods which are available in HTTP session interface.
These are the reference which have been referred in the entire slide. The textbook is Albert Stead Java, the complete reference, 7th edition, Tata McGrail and Jim Cook, and reference book are Daniel Lang, Stephens and Uttam K. Roy. These are the textbook which are going to be referred.